Did you know there are a bunch of different ways to measure things? You can use measuring cups, a ruler, a measuring tape, even a scale. And in some countries, they have different ways of measuring things, like temperature, for example. In the States, they use Fahrenheit. In Canada, we use degrees Celsius. But there's one universal measurement that every single country, every human being on planet Earth uses, whether they realize it or not, and that is comparison. You think that your sneakers look amazing. That is until you see the pair that the kid in your class has. You think that the grade that you got on the test is pretty good. That is until you hear about what your friend got. You love the toy that you just picked out from the store. That is until you see what your neighbor got. You think your outfit looks really cute. Until you see that girl's outfit. You think the number of friends you have is perfect. Until you see how many friends they have. Comparison is when we measure something about ourselves against something about someone else. Comparison can lead us to believe things that aren't true about ourselves and about others. It can lead to disappointment, frustration. It can motivate us. It can make us feel hopeless. And it can make us think that we're better than other people. But comparison, no matter how it makes us feel about ourselves or others, never leads us anywhere. It's kind of like walking around and around and around and around in circles. We won't get anywhere because as soon as you get the thing that you want, you'll find something else to compare it to. It'll never be enough. In a letter Paul wrote to the Corinthians, he said that when we compare ourselves to each other, we're using the wrong measurement. We're looking in the wrong place. Paul goes on to say it doesn't matter how we measure up in comparison to other people, but instead it's about how God sees us. God sees us and he doesn't compare us to other people. He doesn't use other people as a ruler or a scale. He doesn't use other people to determine how much we're worth, how valuable we are. Instead, God views us through his eyes, through his love. Comparison starts in our hearts when something in us feels unhappy with this or that. And if we want to avoid comparing ourselves to other people, we have to stop it where it starts, in our hearts. So how do we guard our hearts? By paying attention to our feelings, by figuring out what's fueling our comparison, and by celebrating. Celebrating all that we have to be thankful for. Celebrating instead of comparing. So that the next time you feel like, oh man, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, or oh man, I wish I looked more like her, man, I wish I had muscles like him. I want you guys to make a list right now. Right now. Do it. I hope you're doing it. I hope you have a pen and a paper right now. Go grab it if you don't, because this is important. I want you guys to make a list of all the things you are grateful for, all the things you have to be thankful for, and I want you guys to also make a list of how God sees you, so that the next time you're tempted to compare, you know the truth. You can look at that sheet and be like, you know what, I want this, but you know what, I'm so thankful I have this. I'm so thankful I have that. So the next time you're tempted to compare what you look like, you're like, oh, but God says I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So please, go right now, make the list, so that the next time you're tempted to compare, you know the truth. You know how God sees you.